Well, we are still here, Headmaster, and in my opinion likely to remain so. Marooned, that is to say, on an island in time which, from all the evidence, appears to be somewhere within the dominion of ancient Rome, though at which period in its history I am as yet unable to say. A fine thing. Today, having nothing else to do, I returned to the wreck of the TARDIS, and, of course, found the damnable contraption much as we had left it 2 months ago, toppled horizontally at the bottom of a rocky ravine, and looking even more cracked and dilapidated than when Barbara and I first had the misfortune to encounter it in I.M. Foreman's junkyard. However, I was alarmed to see that yet another tree had fallen across it, and that much of its battered exterior is now obscured by a grasping growth of brambles and other hardy perennials, making it difficult for me to believe that the machine can ever be extricated from its present predicament, or indeed that if restored to the vertical, it will ever again be functional, even in its habitual haphazard fashion. I was nevertheless making a lonely and hopeless attempt at defoliation when a restraining hand was placed on my shoulder, causing me to leap into a nettle bed, and a petulant voice demanded that I desist. "My dear Chesterton," exclaimed the doctor, "whatever are you about? That vegetation provides a valuable camouflage against the prying eyes of the curious. Would you wish the TARDIS to be discovered and our secret revealed?" "I can't see that it really makes much odds," I told him. "As far as I'm concerned, anyone can find it, and welcome for all the good it's likely to do them. Can you seriously believe that God's gift to industrial archaeology will ever get off the ground again?" He chuckled, in that irritating way of his. "In n-dimensional space, dear boy, the ground, as you call it, is an outdated concept, with no relevance whatever to our momentary mechanical malfunction, or our temporary temporal predicament." "And what about our human predicament? How are we going to get out of here? Please, there is no cause for alarm. The TARDIS would function just as well as always." "That is simply not good enough. I am speaking, Chesterton. Just as well as always, I say. Were it to be inverted in an erupting volcanic crater, or rotating at the center of a cyclone, its environment is in no sense germane to its interior." "A great comfort. So how do you suggest we penetrate its interior to find out if you're right or not? There's a hulking great tree trunk blocking the door. Here, give me a hand, can't you?" "All in good time, my dear Chesterton. For one thing, I am invariably right, and in any case there is surely no hurry, is there? For once, I advise you to relax and enjoy a short holiday. Personally, I'm having a marvelous time." And do you know, Headmaster, I really believe he meant it. Producing a bunch of grapes, he offered me a couple, and then, cackling maniacally, he trotted off, looking for all the world like Bacchus on his way to an informal debauch. Sometimes I begin to believe that the man is demented. For, moreover, yet another instance here, on my returning to the villa which has become our bivouac, I discovered that, incredibly, he has allowed Barbara and Vicki to wander off to the local town, unaccompanied, to do, he says, some shopping. How about that? Which local town? He fails to remember, so I cannot even follow them. He has no sense of responsibility whatever, and once more I can only regret the impulse of misguided curiosity which first led me to become entangled in his eccentric, tortuous, and altogether incomprehensible affairs. Or rather, which will one day lead me to become so entangled, for since we have been travelling backwards in time, I suppose I haven't met him yet. How very difficult this all is. Well, in that case, when I do meet him for the first time, I shall do my utmost not to recognise him, and see how he likes that. Meanwhile, all I can usefully do, it seems, is to continue to record events in this journal, in the hope that one day, in some unimaginably distant future, it will enable you, Headmaster, and the school governors, of course, to realise that your science master has been trapped by history, and your history mistress snared by science, instead of your continuing to believe, as you doubtless do, that Barbara and I have eloped together. For it is my constant fear that unless I can somehow dispel this not unnatural suspicion, it could well lead to the forfeit of our potential pensions. And then where would we be? And where are we now, come to that? I wish I knew. But meanwhile remain your always loyal employee, Ian Chesterton.